Hi everybody, it's Cindy the Scrapologist. I'm here today with the next part in the series, How to Make a Junk Journal from Start to Finish. Today we're going to be working on the covers. These are made from materials in the kit that's available in my shop, but you can use any materials that you like. The series that I'm doing, the reason why there are so many videos is because I want each video to be very detailed, slow, well taught, and I want to show you some high-end construction uh, steps, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because there are a lot of videos out there where they'll show you how to make a junk journal, and it's a 20-minute video, and they can make an entire journal in 20 minutes. And that's fun. I've done that myself. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm definitely not knocking it. There's room for us all on YouTube and elsewhere. But no, I can't do those kind of quickie techniques for the albums that I'm going to be selling in my shop. So I'm showing you how I design albums that are going to be in my shop or ones that I'm going to keep for myself for family heirlooms. So today's cover is a little different than what you typically see for a junk journal, but I also wanted to give you something different to think about in terms of your covers. You're going to need 3 pieces of chipboard. These are 8.5 by 1 1/4. You need 3 of these. You need the covers that we did a few weeks ago. We covered these in canvas. And as always, my light, it's a really dark day here in Maine today, so I can't get my lighting to be really good. And there's a bit of a shadow. You can see my head there. Sorry about that. But anyway, you'll need the covers that we worked on. You will need these 3 pieces of chipboard that, as I mentioned, are 8.5 by 1 1/4. You will need something to cover your spine with. I'm using a piece of lightweight canvas here because all this is going to be grunged up. So I'm using this. You can use any kind of material that you want. I often use faux leather. You'll see that a lot in my shop. You can use scrapbook paper, but I don't really recommend it because it doesn't last as well as long. And I'll show you. Actually, this is the spine that we're making. So here's one piece of chipboard, here's another, and then there's another on the back. So it gives you a raised look and gives some dimensionality on your cover. This is a prototype. I have the pretty one in my shop. Yeah, but you can, I don't know if you are going to be able to see, I used scrapbook paper to cover the spine, and it is cracking. See, the paper just isn't going to last that long when you just keep doing this. Keep doing this, opening it, and closing it. It just starts feathering and tearing. And same with up here, from taking it in and out of the bookshelf. So, but anyway, so this is the cover, the spine that we're making, and I'm going to cover it in fabric. My piece of canvas is 10 by 6, so whatever material that you're going to be using. And I like to use, oh, you know what? Oh, I forgot to turn my iron on. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Okay, I have my little craft iron here. Because the reason I needed the iron is because I am going to use heat and bond, which it's the same thing that I used on the covers to adhere the canvas to these covers. I think. Or did I use glue? No, I can't remember. Well, I do have a video. I'll look for the link below on how to use heat and bond for your covers. But I really like this because it makes any kind of cheap fabric like book cloth, because it gives it a backing. And so you don't have to buy really expensive book cloth if you do this technique. So I've got my 10 by 6 piece of fabric. I have a 10 by 6 piece of heat and bond. I'm going to put the glue side down. Actually, I should be doing it this way. Okay, and I'm just going to stick that on there with the iron. This is just a little travel iron that I use in my craft room. And it heats up super quickly and it folds up, so I really like it for the craft room. Okay, that feels like it's on there nice and good. Just making sure it's all melted down. Okay. Excellent. And then we need to cool it. Usually I just let it sit and wait, but so while that's cooling, because if you lift it off too soon, actually let me just give it another little, if you lift it off too soon, then the glue is not going to have stuck to the fabric. Okay. So then what we're going to do after this cools is we're going to take our 3 chipboard pieces and we're going to stick them to the fabric like this. Okay. And let me get one more piece of chipboard for a spacer. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. This is still kind of warm. Let me cool it off a little bit. I think that's good. Perfect. And I keep the backing. I know that you all understand. It's a sickness. Okay. So now we have the sticky side. The glue is now on the fabric. Okay, so the fabric on this side, glue on this side. So now we need to adhere these in the center. I'm going to put a little bit of tape because I'm going to have to put these down and then flip it over to iron on the other side. And I tried eyeballing it before and kind of doing it like this. Don't recommend that. It didn't work. So just enough tape to keep it on there when I flip it over. And let's find our center. You know, for this I need my mat here, because I really like to use the ruler on the mat when I'm doing this. Okay, so here's the center, and I'm going to line this up so that it's relatively straight. Take my tape off and just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just somewhat in the center. And make sure that you're leaving plenty of fabric on the top and the bottom. Okay? Now here's a little bookmaking tip for you. I learned this from a bookmaker. Generally speaking, you want your gusset in between either your covers, or in this case we're doing these pieces that are going to go on the cover. You want your gusset to be at least the thickness of the chipboard or the bookboard that you're using. So I have a little piece of chipboard that's the same as this, and I'm going to put it here. And then I know that my gusset is wide enough. You can also take a ruler like this if you want 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, and you can draw a line right down. Quite often I do that as well. You can do that. And yeah, actually 1/8 of an inch is perfect for this, so I'm going to just go by the line that's on there. Okay. And then our last piece. Let's do 1/8 of an inch. Okay. I have to clean up as I go along, otherwise otherwise it looks like a disaster and I can't find anything. Even when I'm clean, I still can't find things, so okay. All right. So now that we have this like this, we can safely flip it over. And let me think. Yeah. So for now, sorry, I had to think for a minute. Did you hear my ears burning, my brain burning? So right now we're just going to put the iron on the chipboard part so that when we flip it over, we can heat this up and iron it on the underside. So for right now, just don't burn yourself, and it's pretty easy because it's raised as opposed to the rest of it. Just make sure that this doesn't you don't iron it to your board, your work surface. Okay. And then, it bows the chipboard while it's hot for a little bit. That's fine. You can always just stick it under your cutting mat and let it flatten out. Okay, good. So let's miter our corners. Same with your corner. You can use your spacer if you need to. And your miter on the end here should be at least as wide as your chipboard. Okay, but I've done it enough that I can kind of eyeball it. So. And you can keep these and throw them in your junk journal. They've got the heat bond on them, so you could actually iron them to your coffee stained paper. That looks kind of fun. I mean, looks kind of neat. So I like to start with the long end. the long edges. Whoops, almost burned myself there. Once you get to the ends, sometimes you do have to pull it in just a little bit to make sure that make sure you get it, you don't have a bulge there. Okay, I also like to, just to be, you know, that extra quality, just I like to make sure the glue on the edge is melted too. Just keep pulling it tight this way. And then you just flip up the bottom like this. Again, pull it nice and tight. Make sure it's so you have a nice seam here. I mean, a nice, not a seam, a nice neat edge. I just want to make my corner really nice and neat. It's super difficult to not burn yourself when you're doing this. When you get to the little end, you have to really pay attention. Okay, and so there we have it. My corners aren't exactly perfect, but I'm okay with that because it's a junk journal. Let me get this hot iron out of the way. Because I'm a klutz. I'm surprised I haven't burned myself today. Get my water too while I'm here. Okie dokie. Now we're going to put this on our covers. So the way this goes is it folds like this. And so we're going to glue this on here. And then we're going to glue the other one on the other side. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So I suppose we could use heat and bond for these two, but I'm fine with glue for this part. It's just easier. But be generous with your glue. The easiest way to do this is to work this way, upside down. So you take your cover, oops, but make sure you're using the correct side. So I almost glued it down on that. I had it this way. Okay, and then just find your edges, the edge of this chipboard, and set it down. Just line it up. hold it there a little bit. Okay. Okay, let's just be gentle. Let's do the other one. And just line it up. I wanted to do a live video today because I bore myself sitting here without you guys. But it seems like with YouTube, every time I try to do a live video, my sound is crackly. And so my last two videos, the quality of the sound was annoying, and I don't want to do that to you again. So I'm just pre-recording it, so you don't have to deal with the bad sound. So here we go. Isn't that so nice? I love this technique. So we've got a nice raised edge here. And quite often I like this too because then I can put things down the spine. What do I have just hanging around here? You know, you can decorate this area. It's really fun. But what we're going to be doing eventually is decorating more, grunging this up, and then we have this big burlap flower that we got through Canvas Corp that is in the kit. We're going to decorate the center of this and put this on here. Who knows? We might still have stuff. You know, we can still decorate this part of the spine. But I'm excited because I did find my I couldn't find my pen nib, but my mom had one. And remember, I wanted this to be kind of a writing journal theme, and I put this paste and paintbrush on it, and I'm going to put some other things. So I'm probably going to have this pen nib sticking out of the middle here with some other stuff. You might be thinking about what you want in here, beads, and but that's going to be a whole other class. So now that our cover is constructed, we can finally, well, we still have to put something over the inside, but we can finally think about sewing our signatures in here. That will be the next video. The next video I will cover this, decide what I'm going to do for a clasp, and either in that video or the one following we'll be sewing the signatures in. Then we can have fun and really start messing this thing up and decorating, which is I think is the most fun part. So I hope you like this book cover style, and I hope you try it. Let me know if you have any questions. Just I do respond to all comments, so give me a comment down below and let me know how you like this. And hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, all those things that make me feel really good and make me want to continue doing these videos. It's all about me and how I feel. No. Anyway, yeah, so that's my spiel. I'll just see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.